Okay, first we'll do the Mangalachana prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalasalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padagamalam Shri Gurum Vishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Krupa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurabhaktabanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai Prabhupada ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, this sloka 517. So in the chapter 5, we are in the 17th sloka. There are, I think, 28 verses in this one. And then after that also, we'll be recapping 29 slokas total. We'll recap once in a while. So the sloka goes like this. Tadbuddhayas tadatmanas tannishtas tatparayanaha gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha Tadbuddhayas tadatmanas tannishtas tatparayanaha gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha Tadbuddhayas tadatmanas tannishtas tatparayanaha gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha Tadbuddhayaha, those whose intelligence is always in the Supreme. Tadatmanaha, those whose minds are always in the Supreme. Tatnishtaha, those whose faith is only meant for the Supreme. Tatparayanaha, who have completely taken shelter of Him. Gachanti, go. Apunar avrittim, to liberation. Jnana, by knowledge. Niddhuta, cleansed. Kalmashaha, misgivings. Okay, now the translation. Krishna. Okay. When one's intelligence, mind, faith and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. Again, I repeat, when one's intelligence, mind, faith and refuge, tannishta, tatparayanaha, are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. So again, Krishna is saying how we will get our, before we go to the notes on this sloka, let's recap also. So here Krishna is saying that we have buddhi and atmana. Here atma means mind. Mind and buddhi, he says, like, give it to him. And the nishtha parayana, how? With the nishtha, faith, and refuge, tat parayana. Parayana, refuge in the sense like mat parayana means you always make him like a goal, the biggest goal. So what the Krishna wants is buddhi and mind because those are the main ones. And once we fix our buddhi and the mind in the Supreme is like in the Bhagavata says, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabde. Okay, what is that? Vadanti Tattavidas Tattam Jajyanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabde. That Tattvam, that is truth, the absolute truth, the Paramam, the Supreme. So the Vadanti Tattva Vedas. Tattva Vedas, they define as a Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti shabde. Brahman, Paramatma, and then Bhagavan. So Brahman means the huge, the everything pervading. That's called Brahman. That is mainly the Jnana Marga people. They will just consider the Nirakara, Sarupa, everything is like a Brahman. All the Brahmandas, everything is that Brahman is occupied. From the Brahman only, Brahman only, this everything is generated. All the Sushti Sthiti Jagat is happening. Everything is like a Maya happening in that, like a ocean. The bubbles and then the waves and all are coming, but only if you see the entirely, it's the tattva is like a water. That's how the Brahman is. Paramatma means the dhyana yogis. Paramatma is in every living entity's heart. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishtaha. In the heart, and the nishtha, he is there. Nishtha means it's like sitting there in the heart of everyone. That's called Paramatma. So when we want to fix the mind and buddhi, as here Atmanaha, basically Paramatmanaha, because mind and buddhi should be focused on the heart and the Paramatma. That's where we should be practicing more. And then the Bhagavan, in the sense, Bhagavan is like a Bhakti yogis, they will call it the Bhagavan, Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, like the 6 qualities of the Bhagavan, and the Bhagavan's, avataras, there are Nirakara, Arsakara, everything is like you just put more love on the Bhagavan. That's called 3 things. That's called Supreme. So when we fix this in Supreme, what happens is like mainly one becomes fully cleansed of disconnects. What we need to do is like we need to clean these upadhis. So the mind, the cleaning of the mind is what? The mind should not have any material desire. That is called the cleaning of the mind. So the cleaning of the body is what? The body should be healthy. That's called clean. So the blood, for example, the clean blood or the contaminated blood, if you see, the blood has so many things like the sugar levels, iron levels, everything. Once you do the blood test, you will have so many results, you will get it. But what is meant by cleaning of the blood is, so whatever the sugar level should be there, the normal level, that should contain the iron, that only. And then the iron level or potassium level or calcium level, that these things, then vitamin D, whatever that is. So everything should be in the proper, within the limits. That's called the clean blood. That's how the clean mind means no desires. And the clean buddhi nirmalatvat. Clean buddhi means what? It is again the clean intelligence. So intelligence should be more focused on Bhagavan only, not anything for the sense gratification. That is called the clean intelligence. So when we fix on that, and vatan nishtha tatparayanaha. Nishtha means, the faith. Whatever the Shastra, like Vivek Chodama says, Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satyabuddhyavadaranam Sa Shraddha Kadita Sadbheri Avat Sustopalabhyate. That Nishtha, Shastra and the Guru, whatever the Guru says, whatever the Shastra says, and that is perfectly correct. With this, keep in the mind, that's called the Shraddha. That's called the Nishtha. And Tatparayana means faith, refuge means param goal. So the goal should be the highest. So once we realize our true nature, that is where you will get relieved from this samsara. Jnana Riddhota Kalmashaha Apunaravrittim Gachanti Apunaravrittim. We don't fall into the cycle of birth and death. Gachanti Apunaravrittim. So that is what should be the parama goal. When we have the parama goal of Bhagavan, we get this result, which is the ultimate benefit for us. And Jnana Riddhota Kalmashaha proceeds on the complete knowledge through misgivings, fully cleansed, wrongly not thus proceeds straight on the path of complete knowledge. Jnana, knowledge, Nirdhuta, cleanse, Kalmashaha, misgivings. That is what this shloka is talks about. Now if you recap the whole 5th chapter, first Arjuna asked like, okay, what do you want me to do? Whether you want me to do the work or renounce the work. After Krishna is preaching the 2nd chapter, and then the 3rd chapter, 2nd chapter of the Sankhya Yoga, and 3rd chapter is the Karma Yoga, and then the 4th chapter is the Jnana Yoga. You Vidya Jnana, Ittishtottishtaga, Pada Jnana. So last sloka, that's what it is. Then Arjuna was asking question like whether what should I do? Because these are all things I should not be working like this. And for that question, Krishna is explaining. So the second sloka he explains that both are good. He says like renunciation or work and devotion, both are good for, because the ultimate aim is both same. So basically, third sloka says one who don't expect the result, they are called renounced. Such a person free from the bondages. And then number fourth one says like either karma yoga or the sankhya yoga or jnana yoga or bhakti yoga, or both are same. Everything is, the ultimate benefit is to get out from this cycle of birth and death. And then the fifth one he says one who knows the position is Vanically. So basically, one who knows that both the paths lead to the same goal and then sees things they are. So they have the highest clarity of that. Number sixth one he says like merely renouncing activity yet not engaging in devotional service cannot one make happy. So basically, if you really see, like, the sannyasa is very highest and then topmost. Not everyone is eligible for that. So keeping in the mind, the bhakti yoga is pretty straightforward and everyone can fit into that. So when we are getting the same result for different paths, why not you follow the path which is suitable to you? That's what Krishna says. Number seventh one, he says, one who works in devotion proves controls his mind and senses dear to everyone. Everyone is dear to him. So never entangled. Basically, he says again, control the mind and senses. Once you control your mind and senses, then you are dear to everyone and everyone also dear to him. Number 8 and 9, he says like basically the person who sees, who are in the knowledge, always knows that the material, a person, divine consciousness, Krishna consciousness, the real knowledgeable person knows that all the things are happening by the Prakriti and then he is aloof from all these things, and that he is Atman, he is just the observer. That's what he really sees the things as they are. And the 10th one, he says like the knowledgeable person or fully knowledgeable devoted person or the surrendered to the Lord, and he will be like a Padmapatra Mivambasa, the lotus leaf untouched by the water in the material world also. 11th sloka says the yogis abandoning attachment act with body, mind, intelligence, senses only for the purpose of purification. The yogi, basically you are a yogi, bhakti yogi, karma yogi, jnana yogi, any yogi. Basically you will use all the upadhis only for the purpose of the purification. So that means the indriya should not enjoy the things, sense objects. And if you are enjoying means it's more contaminated. So that's how you will control it. Then the 12th sloka he says like when he gets unadulterated peace, because he offers all activities to me, whereas a person who is not even fruits of labor entangled. Basically he says like when you give the results of all the actions to the Bhagavan, that's where you get the peace. 13th sloka he says like renounces, basically when he renounces all actions mentally, then he happily resides in the city of 9 gates, causing work. So basically his karma will be cut. And the fourth one does not create, induce, feel. All this enacted by the modes of meditation. 14th one he says like the embodied spirit, the soul does not do anything, and then he will not create, and then all this is created by the material nature. Okay, the embodied does not induce. And the 15th one also says Bhagavan also won't create any activities. It's all because of the ignorance. People think that it's Bhagavan, but actually it's all the modes of material nature is doing that. Okay, the 14th one is the person also, the individual soul also does not do. It's all the modes of material are doing. And then even the Bhagavan also don't assume that anything, he'll just do the karma phalas. Then how we are entanglement, it's all Maya. Even the desire also, we don't desire anything, but whatever happens, we are fall into this entanglement. So we need to slowly come out of this entanglement. Now the 16th sloka, it says when however one is entered by knowledge, when by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything, sunlight. So basically when his ajnana is gone, when his knowledge is jnana, he gets the knowledge, then the sun lights up, he can see everything under the sun. That is how with the jnana he can see the everything as it is, basically. Now this 17th sloka he says like so basically he says like what should we will be doing is even because the previous sloka says, Vidyapakasandagiri Swami says that the disease is ajnana, and then the 16th sloka, the medicine is jnana, atma jnana, not just jnana, atma jnana. And in this one, to get the atma jnana, what should we do? The method to get the atma jnana is basically buddhi, and then the intelligence, and then the mind, just to have this one, and then with the faith, and then refuge, make the param goal as a supreme. That is where you get the knowledge, which will knowledge, and that's pretty straightforward, fully cleansed from misgivings. So when the upadhis are cleaned up, then the knowledge, our true nature will reveal our own knowledge, and then once with the knowledge, then atma jnana, then we will be liberated from this cycle of birth and death. Now let's come to the notes. So the first note, Prabhupada says, the supreme transcendental truth is Lord Krishna. The whole Bhagavad Gita centers around the declaration that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That is the version of all Vedic literature. Paratattva means supreme reality, who is understood by the knower of the supreme Brahman, Paramatman, and Bhagavan. So basically, this is what it is. So supreme transcendental truth, absolute truth, or Param Satyam is what? Krishna, or the Bhagavan, Brahmeti, Paramatmati, whatever maybe you call it, your Ishtadeva. So that is what the Bhagavan is. And then the second point, Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personal God, it is the last word in the Absolute. There is nothing more than that. Lord says. Basically, this is in the Marga. Because of the Bhakti Marga, we depend on this Marga more. That's why. And then the Bhagavan here, we focus more on the Bhagavan, and is the last word in the Absolute. There is nothing more than that. The Lord says, Mattav Parantam Nanyat Kinchidasi Dhananjaya. Impersonal Brahman is also supported by Krishna. Brahmano Hipatishtaham. Therefore, in all the ways, Krishna is the supreme reality. That's what Prabhupada says. And the last point is that one whose mind, intelligence, faith, and refuge are always in Krishna, or in other words, one is fully Krishna consciousness. He is undoubtedly washed clean of all misgivings and is in perfect knowledge in everything concerning the transcendent. A Krishna conscious person can thoroughly understand that there is a duality simultaneously, identity and individuality in Krishna, and equipped with such transcendent knowledge, one can make steady progress on the path of liberation. So whatever may be Dvaita or Advaita, whatever may be, so basically what you should be doing is, with all the upadhis, mind and intelligence are the main ones. Because the indriyas are karmendriyas, jnanendriyas is powerful than karmendriyas, mind is powerful than the jnanendriyas, and then the buddhi is more powerful than that, and then the soul is even more powerful. So that's why we should direct all this towards Bhagavan. That should be our ultimate goal. And with this, what happens, the result will be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Now in this Gita Makarandam, that Paramatma Padavi, the position of that Paramatma is described as in different 6 kind of different words. First one is Akshaya Sukham. Akshaya Sukham means, Kshaya means limited happiness. Akshaya Sukha means unlimited happiness. That is same as Bhagavan, same as this. Number second was Nirvana Brahman. Nirvana Brahman means Paramatma. We talked about Brahman. Nirvana means, Bana means the pain. Nirvana means no pain. That Brahman is like a Ananda Swarupa. Samsara is full Dukhalayam, whereas that Nirvana Padavi is like, that is Brahman. And that is same as like. And then the third one, Uttama Sukham, means the ultimate happiness. That is also described as the Bhagavan, Paramatma. Number 4th is Paramagati, as we all talk about that. The Nishta Tatparayanaha, the goal should be that. And then the 5th one, Parandhama, that is where normally Golok, Vrindavan, or whatever we'll say. Paramdhama, that is the place where the ultimate place, that is also same as Bhagavan, Paramatma, Brahman, all these words. And then Avyaya Padam. The last one is Avyaya Padam, means Vyaya Padam means the one which is like deteriorates. Avyaya means never deteriorates. There is no decrease in that position. So That is the moksha, we want. Basically, one whose ajnana is gone. Ajnana will be gone only when there are no desires in the mind. The intelligence is fixed on the Bhagavan, and then that is where the papa is gone, the sin is gone, and with the Atmajnana, how we get the Atmajnana? By fixing the mind and the intelligence, okay? Should be fixed on the Bhagavan, and then make it with the faith, nishtha, and also make the Param Gati is also Bhagavan. That is what this sloka says about. So, if you really see, so for that, right, the more and more techniques are, the mind always, whenever there are the desires. So again, back to the Vivek Chudamani, the sadhanas, Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi, Shat Sampatti, and then Moksham, Mumukshatto. These are all again same thing. So we should have the Viveka, what is real, what is unreal. That is one thing, Brahma Satyam Jagadmithya. Number second one is Vairagya. Vairagya means Iha Mutra Balabhoga Viragastatrantra. So you need to analyze the things as it is. Each and everything, whatever the happiness, whether the real happiness is coming or not, where the happiness is really coming in. So when the Indriyas are going against the objects, that is where you need object to get the Indriya. And then once you have that Sukha, that is called Rajasika Sukha, that is very temporary. So Rajasika Sukhas are very temporary, and also what happens is the result of that is the senses will never be satisfied, and then they keep on going one after the one after the one after the. It's called the Rajasika Sukha. Like there are three sukhas, like Sattvika Sukha is the one, Vishendriya the Sattvika Sukha is Sukham Tridanim Tridam Vipadashava Pariname. Initially it is like a Visha, but later it is like a Amrutopama. That is called the Sattvika Sukha. So initially, because all the senses are controlled and then the mind and intelligence is controlled, so it feels like it is like a Visha. So then that is called the Sattvika Sukham, basically. Rajasika Sukham means the one which acts to the which goes to the sense objects and then gets a little bit of flickering happiness. So first, that is how Sattvika Sukha means Yatadagre Vishamiva Pariname Amrutopam Tatsukam Satvikam Proktam Atma Buddhi Subhaja. So in the beginning, that Sukha looks like a poison, not poison, looks like a poison. But in the beginning, at the end, it will be like a Amrutam, like a nectar. Then what happens is because of the clean intelligence, clean mind and intelligence, that Sukha is reflected from the soul, the Atma, that is called the Sattvika Sukha. And that is basically the ultimate Sukha. Okay? And that is the ultimate Sukha. Whereas Vishendra Sukha means the one goes to the objects, and then if you really analyze everything, details, that is called the Viveka and then the Vairagya. So what is real? Our true nature is real. What is unreal? We are not the body, we are not the mind, we are not the intelligence, we are nothing other than neti. And then with the intelligence, then that is what it should be. Then after that, Vairagya. So each and every Sukha, whatever the Sukha, the mind is anticipating it. Whatever we are because we expect the happiness, we foresee the happiness, the one which we already had the experience of the happiness. Because I will never imagine to be happy by eating a different food, or I don't even have an idea of that. So that I cannot even do that, explain that. I cannot even desire for that. So the desire is so that's why each and every desire we need to analyze clearly whether we are getting what kind of desire we are getting in that. So ultimately, The mind and intelligence should be diverted towards the Bhagavan all the time. Think about it, and then we have famous slokas, Manmana bhavat bhakta madhyaji mam namaskaro mame vaishyas atmanam mat parayana. Again, same thing. And then same thing repeats, Manmana bhavat bhakta madhyaji mam namaskaro mame vaishyas satyamte prajane priyasme. So ultimately the mind and buddhi is the one instruments we should always devote to Bhagavan Supreme. No matter how, whatever you like it. Whether you do the bhakti, certain period of time you like it in the day, and then you keep on bhakti like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Swaranam, all those things, Atma Vinivedanam. Then you back to the Karma Yoga, like do all the things and then just give the result as it is. Don't even think about it. The result is not yours. Don't even think why this has happened or why this is not happening like this way and all those things. You just don't even think about that. And that is Karma Yoga, and then leave the results to the Bhagavan. Then don't even expect anything. And then after that, the Jnana Yoga, think about who are you actually, who am I, and then why we got this entangled into this. Again, avidya, kama, karma. What is the main why I'm getting this body is because the body is full of miseries only. Body, I got the body because of my karma. That's why digest in yourself that whenever we meet any friends or activities or anything, that is because of the karma, prarabdha karma is kicking in. That's why don't worry about anything, any event should happen in the life or anything happen in the life. Don't regret anything because of the karmas it is happening, and the karma is because of the kama, desire. Kama is happening because of the ajnana. It's like a purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. That is our true nature is purnam, satchitanandam. We don't need anything. There is no wealthy here. There is no vacuum, purna. There is fullness, right? There is no not full. Nothing is there in our true nature. Whereas with the ajnana, with the ignorance, we think that we are the body. That's where all the things are. We want the desires. We want to make these upadhis to be full because our true nature is full. Again, our true nature, then the Vivek Chudamani says like Asti Kaschit Swayam Nityam Aham Pratyarambana Avastatre Sakshisan Panchakosha Vilakshana. As I mentioned before sloka also, there is one Satcham, eternal thing is there. That is us only. That is the false ego. The basis for is false ego. Basis also that, and that is like a sakshi, observer of the three states: wakeful, dreaming, and then the deep sleep. And panchakosha vilakshana. These all is panchakoshas, like a annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya, food, body, and then the air, pranamaya, airs, and then the manomaya, mind, body, and then the buddhi, intelligence, body, and then the anandamaya, also the flickering indriya, bhoga, anandamaya, also body. So we are not that. So we are ultimately Shivoham, like that. So many things are there. So basically it's all the same. Over and over, Krishna is saying, clean up your mind and buddhi with the practice, and then don't lose the patience. Keep on doing every day. Ultimately, at one point of time, you will get the result by Bhagavan mercy. Okay? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Krishna Bhagavan.